Hello. Hello. Welcome back, my friends. If you're new here, I am Lance. If you're returning, welcome back. Today we're going to check out a video by Stale Old Beef with Jaded. Okay, that's the title. That's the name of the that's the name of the radio station. That's the name of the channel. Stale Old Beef with Jaded. That's a mouthful. The title is Madonna, Lady Gaga Drama Fully Explained. I heard there was a little drama between Madonna and Lady Gaga back in the day. I don't know if it's still the same. Hopefully this will kind of give us context on how this started and where it's at currently. Hopefully, they're two divas, I can see why Madonna doesn't want to pass the torch, but I remember Lady Gaga being on Howard Stern, which I can't stand Howard Stern. But anyway, she was on Howard Stern, and I guess he asked her that question. I remember seeing this clip, and she goes, everyone's so afraid that, was it Lady Gaga who said this? I think so. But she's like, she's afraid that, basically she doesn't want to be dethroned, but don't even worry, I don't want your throne, I have my own. Or is that Nicki Minaj who said that? I can't remember who said that now. Maybe, am I getting confused? Anyway, we'll put that quote in quotations, in parentheses, brackets, because I'm not too sure who said that. I think it was Lady Gaga. Oh, it could be Nicki Minaj. It could have been Nicki Minaj on a Parodies video. I may be getting confused. Anyway, we're going to check out this video. I'm going to leave the link for Stale Old Beef with Jaded down below so you can check out their channel and check out their archive. And yeah, let's get right into this reaction. I'm kind of curious. It's going to be about 24 minutes long, but between me talking and stuff, it'll probably be a 40-minute video. See, YouTube, I try to be formative. I try to bring. Don't you dare demonetize my channel, YouTube. I've been hearing what you've been doing.
1986, and Madonna had a good feeling about the new song she was debuting today. The song was called Live to Tell and would be the first single off of her new album she was naming True Blue. The 27-year-old had just proven herself a bona fide superstar the previous summer, selling out her first debut tour, aptly named the Virgin Tour. In New York City, all 18,000 tour tickets had sold out in a record-breaking 34 minutes. The rest of the country sold out in a similar fashion.
Probably the hottest artist to ever play the Universal Amphitheater, and we probably could easily have sold out 10 shows.
Madonna Mania is sweeping the country.
She's fresh and she's new and she's 85. She's it now.
She's gorgeous, she can dance, she can do everything. Sexy.
I want to be famous like Madonna.
Dress up like this, how do you feel?
I feel wonderful.
What are these kids really saying?
I want to be a virgin, but I want to be a virgin who looks like I'm a slut. And the more youngsters learn about her, the less popular she will be.
She's a Marilyn Monroe lookalike, but she's not a victim. She's courageous and gutsy, an individual, and I think her appeal is that she is feminine, she is herself, she is sexual, but she's strong.
Now the world was waiting with bated breath for her new music, all but guaranteeing that her new song would be a smash, especially since the song was also featured in her husband, Sean Penn's new movie. Only a few weeks later, Live to Tell would end up being Madonna's third #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100. The True Blue album would also hit #1 as well, and would produce Madonna's fourth and fifth #1 songs as well. But before that all happened,
open your heart, Papa don't preach.
Only 2 days after Madonna released Live to Tell. 2 days later, on March 28, 1986, in New York City, a baby was born. Like Madonna herself, this baby girl was born into an Italian-American family and would be raised Catholic. Like Madonna herself, one day this baby girl would start out as a struggling artist in New York City with only self-belief and blonde ambition to guide her. Like Madonna herself, this girl would experience rejections, hardships, and even a traumatic assault before finding success. Like Madonna herself, once she found that success, and her own voice. This girl would refuse to stay silent. She would refuse to stay in the narrow box that pop stars are forced into. Like Madonna Louise Ciccone, one day this baby girl, Stephanie Joanne Angelina Germanotta, would be a global superstar. With so many glaring similarities, it was inevitable that comparisons between Madonna and Lady Gaga would be made. At first, the two took it in stride. There was plenty enough room for two tough Italian-American blondes with ever-changing looks in pop music, wasn't there? But by 2011, the similarities had gotten uncomfortably too similar for one of these women. And now, well, that meant that now they had beef. Welcome to Scale Beef, where I revisit long-buried celebrity beef for your entertainment. Ooh. First off, I'm so sorry I've not posted a video in...
Oh, your hair is fabulous, by the way. I wish I had a full head of hair like that. First of all, this versus thing photo is everything. You picked two beautiful photos of, I mean, they're a little bit touched up, but two beautiful pictures of both of these gals. Great job on that one.
In 3 months. I could say it's because I've been busy, but that would be a partial lie, because the full truth is I have this thing where I will start a project, and then when it finally gets some traction, it just paralyzes me and I just can't continue. So this channel started getting some views, some subscribers, not even a lot, and it's exactly what I wanted. So I'm so thankful for those of you who have subscribed and are watching the videos, but it's also very terrifying for me for some reason, and I just couldn't even look at this channel for a while, but I think now I'm okay. But I'm sure it's just one of my undiagnosed mental conditions. You can comment below if you know what it is. Because right now I'm thinking it's just stupiditis and
stupiditis
terminal.
Stupiditis. That's cute. That's cute. Work.
And also, it didn't really help that this is the video I've been working for. I did a poll on the community channel tab, and this is the video you guys wanted to see. And this one is a hard one for me because I love both of these ladies a lot. Growing up, even in an immigrant household, the adults around me didn't really listen to English music that much, but even then, it was still an accepted fact that if Michael Jackson is the king of pop, then of course Madonna is the queen of pop. On the other side, we have Lady Gaga, who I have paid to see more times live than any other artist in my lifetime. But let's just get into it. The first time one of them mentioned the other, as far as I could find in my research, was February of 2009. To give some context though, at the time Madonna was still touring for her Hard Candy album, while Lady Gaga was just about to begin her The Fame Ball tour. Speaking to the Sunday Times, Gaga said, and I quote, "We're both Italian-American women. We both started out in the New York underground scene, and we both became famous when we dyed our hair blonde. I think what Madonna and I share is that we are both fearless. We both have a lot of nerve." The Sunday Times also included a quote from Gaga's assistant at the time, who said, "She's the next Madonna. I'm telling you, the determination, that knowledge of who you are, who you want, and what the people want, that's her." And then about 7 months later that same year, the next Madonna and the actual Madonna were photographed together for the first time at a Marc Jacobs show in September.
What? Really? And everyone made it out alive? Okay, work.
That same month, while being interviewed by MTV, Madonna mentioned Gaga, saying, quote, "I just saw Lady Gaga. She looks like she's going to a carnival in Venice. Very beautiful." And when asked if she feels at all threatened by the comparisons, Madonna said, "No, I'm very flattered." And it seemed like Madonna meant it at the time, as 1 month later, the two made an appearance together on Saturday Night Live, even poking fun at a rivalry.
Guess what, Madonna? I'm totally hotter than you.
Guess what? I'm totally taller than you. What kind of a name is Lady Gaga? It sounds like baby food.
The kind that's #1 on the Billboard chart!
For the next few years, things were all quiet on the Western Front as Madonna focused on directing the movie W.E. and releasing 2 clothing.
She filmed the movie? Please tell me she didn't act in any of it. Oh.
Lines while Gaga continued her rise in pop music and with her second tour, the Monster Ball Tour. That all changed though, February of 2011, which is when Lady Gaga released the first single off her new album, a song called Born This Way. Right away, Madonna fans were up in arms as the song was reminiscent of Madonna's 1989 song, Express Yourself. Appearing that same month on Jay Leno, Gaga was asked about the comparison.
There's really no one that is a more adoring and loving Madonna fan than me. Well, the good news is that I got an email from her people and her sending me their love and complete support on behalf of the single. And if the Queen says it shall be, then it shall be.
Oh, that's great.
Well, there you have it. Case closed. Madonna approved, right? No drama here. Or did she? Because soon after that, Madonna's rep denied that Madonna had sent an email to Gaga about the song. This is the first time that we are seeing a little bit of friction. In March, Gaga was interviewed by NME magazine, who asked, "A bit of it does sound quite a lot like Express Yourself though, doesn't it?" To which Gaga responded, quote, "I don't think so. I swear to you, I am not stupid enough to put out a record and be that moronic." To which the interviewer responded, "The reference seems so obvious that it had to be intentional, because as you say, you're not stupid, ... To which Gaga responded, "No, listen to me, why the I'm a songwriter, I've written loads of music. Why would I try to put out a song and think I'm getting one over on everybody? That's our slur." End quote. Side note, Gaga did end up issuing an apology for using the R slur during this interview. This was a long time ago, but I'm pretty sure back then we were still not using that word anymore. So this was definitely a misstep on Gaga's end. But like I said, she did apologize for it. Side note over, and now continuing the quote that Gaga said, which is a bit of a rant, so let me get through this for you. "What a completely ridiculous thing to even question me about. I will look you in your eyes and tell you that I am not dumb enough or moronic enough to think that you are dumb enough or moronic enough not to see that I would have stolen a melody. If you put the songs next to each other, side by side, the only similarities are the chord progressions. It's the same one that's been in disco music for the last 50 years. Just because I'm the first artist in 25 years to think of putting it on top 40 radio, it doesn't mean I'm a plagiarist. It means that I'm smart. Sorry. There's a lot of people who want to see me fail. The minute they see something to shoot at, they shoot, and the bigger I become, the bigger target I am. Nobody in this room at any point looked around and said, 'Oh my God, it's Express Yourself.' Not once. Listen, I swear to you, I can only be honest with you about it." I believe the lady doth protest too much, but I get what she is saying also, so I see both sides. In 2012, many interviewers would continue to ask Madonna about Gaga. On Graham Norton, Madonna was pretty complimentary.
A lot of my friends said, "Oh, are you going to ask Madonna about Lady Gaga?" But
when I first saw her, was really impressed by her. I thought she was really cool, and she did remind me of me back in the day. I loved her rawness. I liked her. So I do think she's very talented.
But only days later in her interview with 2020, Madonna had more pointed things to say.
I certainly think she references me a lot in her work. Sometimes I think it's amusing and flattering and well done. Obviously, I've influenced her.
It doesn't feel like a ripoff.
No, because she's she and I'm me.
And when you saw Born This Way, did you think?
When I heard it on the radio. Yes, I did. I said, that sounds very familiar. It feels reductive.
Is that good?
Look it up.
In that same month, Madonna was also asked about Born This Way by Newsweek, and she replied, "Of course I heard about it. How could I not? I think it was on the radio a few times. I thought, this is a wonderful way to redo my song. I recognized the chord changes. I thought it was interesting." End quote. But Madonna saved her most shadiest moment for her own MDNA tour a few months later when she performed a mashup of Express Yourself with Born This Way with another song that she had called She's Not Me from her album Hard Candy. In June, many believe that Gaga was referencing Madonna and the whole situation with her in this concert rant.
Oh my
feel better about themselves, you know? To put other people down or make fun of them or maybe make mockery of their work. And I learned so much this year about that. I learned a lot about negativity. I learned a lot about people trying to tear you down, and I'm just not that person. And I never will be. And I don't even want to fight back.
In October 2012, Madonna was also asked about Gaga by Ellen on the Ellen Show.
Lady Gaga. I know everyone's waiting on the edge of their seat. I'm playing this one out. Good voice. All right.
As Madonna continued her tour, she would make comments here and there about Lady Gaga. For instance, in November of 2012 in Atlantic City, she performed the song Masterpiece and then dedicated it to Lady Gaga. And then she told the fans, "You want to know something? I love her, I do love her. Imitation is the highest form of flattery." She said, "One day, very soon, we're going to be on the stage together. Just you wait. You think I'm kidding? I love Lady Gaga." And then at her show in Minneapolis, she said, "I have the best fans in the whole world, so take that, Lady Gaga. You know, I invited her on stage to sing with me, but she turned me down. It's okay, I've been rejected before. It builds a little character." So according to Madonna, she invited Gaga to perform at her concert on stage together, but Gaga turned her down. So at the time, it seems like Gaga might have been in her feelings a little bit, and she was not happy with the little shots that Madonna had been taking towards her. Instead of joining Madonna...
I mean, would you? Like, because you don't want to walk into that, you know, lion's den. Madonna... I've heard a lot of stuff about Madonna being a diva, so I could just imagine. Jesus. I don't know. I don't blame her for not want to, especially after making all those little comments. I can see where both sides are. I do see both sides of the fence if I was Madonna and Gaga.
On the stage, Gaga did poke a little fun at the whole situation when she hosted SNL.
Like Lady Gaga covering the work of Madonna.
Possibly because Madonna found the SNL skit actually funny, there was a little bit of a ceasefire for a while. For a year after that, I didn't find any information about the two talking about each other in the public. I think this is a good moment for me to just give you context besides Born This Way, I think what the issue between the two women were. Because I think at this point, since Gaga was doing different looks pretty much every day, and Madonna had done so many looks and different visuals throughout her long career, so I think at this point there was a lot of overlap between the kind of looks and visuals that they were both serving, and I think that was also contributing to why Madonna was feeling a little bit of frustration towards Gaga. I think part of it was that now Lady Gaga was being dressed by a lot of the same designers who had dressed Madonna and the same people who made her tour outfits. And, you know, I think both of them, they're more like high fashion and they do out-of-the-box looks. They're not afraid of showing skin and being sexual and pushing the boundaries. So they kind of were in the same lane. So a lot of the same designers were dressing them similarly. For example, they both extensively worked with Versace and did advertising for them. They've both worn Mugler, Jean-Paul Gaultier, Alexander McQueen. So because they're wearing the signature looks of a lot of these big designers, then of course they're going to look kind of similar. Another huge part of it was that they seem to pull from a lot of similar references. For example, the reason that the music video for Alejandro seems so similar to the music video for Express Yourself is that they are both referencing German expressionism films like Metropolis and other old like silent era films.
Oh wow.
And then another example would be how Gaga during Art Pop, she was doing a lot of Marilyn Monroe and old Hollywood, and then of course Madonna had done that also herself, and she had done like the whole Marilyn Material Girls. They both would also pull a lot of inspiration from gay culture, ballroom culture, and then also fetish wear. So because they're pulling these inspirations, their products sometimes are going to overlap. And it's not necessarily that Gaga's copying Madonna, but it's just that they're both copying the same inspirations. With that said, though, I do think that Gaga and her team should have just done a better job of being aware of what Madonna had done so that they could just not overlap so much. Continuing on, we're back at the end of 2013. Gaga does address the situation again in an interview with Attitude magazine. I have to be really honest, I was completely kind of floored that Madonna was singing my song on her stage every night. I'm certainly not thinking about anybody but me and my fans when I'm on stage. So of course Gaga is referencing how Madonna did that mashup between the two songs when she was on her tour. Continuing her quote, she says, "The fact that I was on her mind at all, I mean, she's Madonna. I looked up to her for a long time. I'm not quite sure what her intention was to do that in her show, but I don't really care. I think playing into the gossip of the tabloids and I guess the fodder of the competition, that's just not what I'm about. She chooses to use her voice the way she chooses to use hers, and I choose to use mine the way I use mine." All right. It meant to me was that Madonna Ciccone was singing my song on her stage, and I'm 27. And as a punk rocker from New York, I've basically been hoping that I would become so good that one day I would piss off Madonna. I truthfully believe that was nothing about those records sounding alike, and everything about this gay icon versus gay icon nonsense. I have no interest in taking anybody's torch. I'm over here and they are over there, and if you feel connected to it, the door is open for you to come in and enjoy this with us. But this need for competition was everything that Born This Way isn't about. In 2013, Gaga went on Howard Stern, and Howard asked her if she thought that Madonna was jealous that, she's now a superstar too. And Gaga responded, "There's not so many ways you can interpret it. To me, honestly, I think she's more aggravated that I'm not upset that she doesn't like me, because I don't care that she doesn't like me." Side note, Howard Stern interviews can be a bit invasive and he can be kind of creepy to say the least, but Gaga has been on there 3 times and each interview is amazing. And her performances on that show, she does them at the piano, are some of my absolute favorites. So do yourself a favor and look those up. For the next 2 years, there wasn't very much activity in this slow, cold feud that they were having, but Madonna did record a demo during this time for her Rebel Hearts album, and the song was called 2 Steps Behind Me. And many believe that the lyrics are referring to Gaga. The lyrics to the song are, "Where is my royalty? You're a pretty girl, I'll give you that, stealing my recipe." And then the chorus is, "Here we go again, in your fantasy, you can try it all, but you can't be me. You can't walk the walk, even talk the talk, but you'll always be 2 steps behind me. In my shadow, 2 steps behind me. Out of ammo, you're never gonna be on my level, 2 steps behind me. In my shadow, you're just a wannabe me." The lyrics were giving me very like Kelly Ben Simone versus Bethany Frankel.
We're not the same, okay? This is you, this is me. We don't talk.
That same year though, Madonna did mention Gaga in a Rolling Stone interview, and the tone was pretty reconciliatory to me. She said, quote, "I don't think Gaga wants my crown. We live in a world where people like to pit women against each other, and this is why I love the idea of embracing other females who are doing what I'm doing. The only time I criticized Lady Gaga was when I felt like she blatantly ripped off one of my songs. It's got nothing to do with she's taken my crown or she's in some space of mine. She has her thing. I do think she's a very talented singer and songwriter. It was just that one issue, and everybody's obviously running with it and turned it into a huge feud, which I think is really boring, quite frankly." And maybe Madonna's words reached Gaga because at the 2015 Met Gala, Madonna and Gaga were photographed together again, which I believe is the first time the two have been publicly seen together since 2009. About a year later though, in 2016, Gaga seemed to be in a shady mood though when she was on the Zane Lowe show and had a little bit of a shady moment here.
Madonna tells a very similar story. Overprotective father, Papa don't preach. You know what I mean?
Madonna and I are very different.
Just saying.
Just saying. I wouldn't make that comparison at all.
All right.
I write all my own music. I spend hours and hours a day in the studio. I'm a producer, I'm a writer. What I do is different.
But only 2 months later, after Madonna was awarded Billboard's Woman of the Year, which if you haven't seen Madonna's acceptance speech for that, you should watch it because it is great.
But to the doubters, the naysayers, to everyone who gave me hell and said I could not, that I would not, that I must not, your resistance made me stronger.
Gaga did tweet at Madonna and said, quote, "Your speech at the Billboard Music Award was inspiring. You're so brave and strong. Thanks for being that for us girls. We need that." In 2017, Gaga did mention Madonna a little bit in her documentary 5'2".
The thing with like me and Madonna, for example, is that I admired her always, and I still admire her, no matter what she might think of me. But no matter how much respect I have for her as a performer, I could never wrap my head around the fact that she wouldn't look me in the eye and tell me that I was reductive or whatever.
So she's never like given you a call and been
No. Like I saw it on fucking TV.
And of course, Madonna had some shady moments of her own in her landmark documentary, Truth or Dare, back in the day, so I don't think she could take much offense to this. In 2018 though, Madonna does repost an Instagram story that highlights that Madonna had actually said something very similar to Gaga's 100 people in a room meme. And if you're not aware of what the meme is, it's when Gaga was promoting A Star Is Born and she kept saying the same quote over and over again. Here it is.
So, you know, there could be 100 people in the room and there can be 100 people in the room. You can have 100 people in the room there can be 100 people in the room and 99 don't believe in you. But I had this one.
So Madonna reposted a story that shows that she said something similar.
And there's 100 people in the room and 99 people say they liked it. I only remember the one person who didn't like it.
Very soon after though, Madonna did choose to delete the repost, which is great because it seemed to quell any resurgence on the feud, because soon after, Madonna and Gaga were photographed together at the Oscars, and all is right in the world and all the gay gods are happy because these two icons seem to be putting the last nail in the coffin of their beef. And in 2023, this piece continued as Gaga did congratulate Madonna when she announced her new tour, Celebration Tour. And also Madonna posted a TikTok of her dancing to Lady Gaga's Bloody Mary Wednesday Addams meme. Currently, Madonna is finally on her Celebration Tour, which was postponed for health reasons. I hope she's feeling a lot better. And Gaga completed filming her role as Harley Quinn in Joaquin Phoenix's Joker movie sequel this year. And that movie is going to be coming out in 2024, and it is a musical, so that will be very interesting. In the meantime though, you can catch Gaga in her shows in Vegas, or you can see her selling makeup on TikTok.
What are you doing?
I'm working.
It doesn't look like you're working.
I'm working.
Are you sure?
I promise you I'm working.
I will be going to the Madonna concert, so I'm excited to see that.
Work. All right. What should we? Okay. What are you doing?
Art pop.
What are you doing?
That was a bit.
What are you doing? What are you doing? I tell you to stop. All right. Wow, I that was a lot of information. What do you guys think about this? Do you think he got most of it right? It was pretty. I like the side by side comparisons. How he did the video, very well done video. I thought very well done, very interesting. I wish I had more stuff to add to it. I was just kind of like. There was a lot of information toward the end I never even heard of or even seen some of the interviews. That was very interesting. The whole 100 people thing and how they... I could see both sides of the of their points of view. I remember even Adam Levine making a tweet about Born This Way being like, express yourself. I think he even said something, but it's Adam Levine, really. Sit your ass down, Adam. Just sit there and look pretty. But other than that, I didn't think there was Howard Stern. She was on Howard Stern 4 times. Gaga. Jeez, how could you stomach that? He's so... Ugh. That old dinosaur, dusty-ass dinosaur, he needs to retire. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. And let me know down in the comments. Of course, like and subscribe. And take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And bye.